Welcome back. So we looked at how to navigate through the file system. We saw the difference between an absolute and relative path name. Absolute starts with a /. Relative, well, you don't have the /. Let's look at file types now. We have a number of file types that we work with on a regular basis in Linux. We have plain text files, and we'll see how we can create and change those with gedit. But before we do that, let's take a look here in Windows. Now, I'm sure many of you have discovered Notepad by now. You can just type some text in there and go ahead and save the file. And if you look at the file type down here, it says text document. That's what we mean by a text file, just very simple, unformatted letters. So we have text files in Linux. We have directories. You can think of those as containers. That's where the files live. And within a directory, you have subdirectories. We have programs, binary files, and we have different kinds of link files. We already saw in class Windows shortcuts, and link files in Linux are similar to shortcuts, but there is a small difference, and we will see the difference very soon. And then we have special files that help us manage our hardware devices. We call them device files. And there are a number of other file types like pipe files and socket files that we won't be concerned with in this first Linux course. Now, when we want to see all the files in a directory, we need to type ls-a. So let's try that now. I'm going to log on here with the secret password. Oops, I may have had my caps on. Let's try that again. And I'm going to go to my home directory, CD with nothing after it, or maybe CD with a tilde. They do the same thing. Let's clear the screen, type ls, and I see directories there. By the way, files and directories are also color-coded. Dark blue means it's a directory. Now, if I do ls-a, A for all, I see files that I didn't see before. And if I look carefully, those files and directories that were invisible before start with a dot. So if I just do ls by itself, I see files and directories. But if I do ls-a, I will see all files, including the hidden ones. And the hidden files begin with a dot. So we saw a couple of options here that we can use with ls-a. We're going to look at ls-f, okay? And when we do ls-f, each file is going to have a symbol, a star for an executable, a / for a directory, an ampersand for a link file. These are like Windows shortcuts. And of course, we have socket and pipe files as well, but we won't be too concerned with those. So let's get some practice using ls-f. So we'll do ls. Let me clear the screen first so it's a little bit easier to read. We'll do ls capital F. Everything in Linux is case sensitive. And I see a /. Let me do that in the bin directory. Change directory bin. Let's do ls-f. And you can see a star there and an ampersand. So these tell us the different types of files. Star again means executable file. And there's one last way of doing it. It's the file command. Just type file, then take the name of any file, more. And we can see in this case the file called more is executable. Files are color-coded. Green means executable. Light blue means a shortcut. We'll get used to that very quickly. Before we move on, before we end this video, I want to do one last ls command. ls is for listing files, ls-l. And we get a lot of information here. We get the file name, we get a timestamp, when was the file created or last modified. We get the size of the file. We can see how big the files are in bytes, and we get owners. Now we'll learn more about owners and permissions. You can see permissions here. Don't worry too much about that for now. What I want to draw your attention to is that very, very first character. That is not a permission. That tells me the file type. So for example, a hyphen means that this is a text file or a plain text file. An L means we have a link file, like a Windows shortcut. If you look here, this file points to another file, just like a Windows shortcut. Let's go to the dev directory, change directory, dev. That's where we find device files. Let's clear the screen. Let's do ls-l here. And in this directory, we're going to see either a C, and sometimes we're going to see a B. These are device files, and devices process data in different ways. If it processes data one letter at a time, one character at a time, it's a character device. You see a C here. But if it processes data in blocks of zeros and ones, large blocks of zeros and ones, you'll see a B there for a block. So an example of a character device would be your mouse or your keyboard. An example of a block device would be a hard drive because it processes data in large blocks. When we return to the school and we continue with Module 2, our hardware course, we will see the difference more clearly. In fact, when you look in the box, you'll know right away when you look inside your computer what is a block device and a character device. But we'll leave out those hardware details for now because they're not important for us in using Linux. So to review, the ls command, ls-a for all files, ls-l, you get a lot more information like a timestamp, the size of the file, and ls-f, it'll put a symbol in front indicating file type. So let me stop right here and we'll continue after the lunch.